Hey, this is Malaysia's best professional wrestler, Golden Boy Ahmad Osman, and you're watching CCP Podcasting.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to live taping of Beyond the Bell. I'm Chris Page. That man right there, that's the sexiest man in the Netherlands. I'm going to give you one. He's just a sexy goth.
Sexy guy.
What's happening, man? Welcome to live taping of Beyond the Bell. You excited?
Oh yeah, it's the first time that I've been here doing it live, so feeling a little excitement, and we got a great guest over here, so yeah, I'm ready for it.
Well, first of all, I have one thing to say. Don't fuck it up. Second thing I want to say is welcome to your first live taping of Beyond the Bell. Third, I want to welcome everybody who's in chat. Guys, if you have questions for our guest, feel free to drop them as we're in our conversation. We will work them in, I assure you. Speaking of our guest, it's not his first time being here. It's his first time being with us live. And we had a chance to sit down and watch some Pro Wrestling League last weekend. And funny story is I had actually set this up before I watched the last show. And boy howdy, and by last show I want to be specific, it's the Purge Cybernight show, I believe is what it was called. And our guest today made a lot of fucking news coming out of that show. So let's jump in because we have a lot to catch up on. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of moving parts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we bring to you live on Beyond the Bell, the Devil's Double, Jesse Daniels. How's it going, sir? Welcome back. Welcome live. How about that?
It's good to be back, I've got to tell you. I've been waiting to have my moment in the sun once more. It was so enjoyable last time. I'm so grateful that you reached out to have me back. Of course, I'm not going to say no any chance to talk about myself. I'm going to grab that with both hands. And here we are. And of course, we're joined by Goth, the Gothic one, who I don't believe we've had the pleasure of working with before. But
No,
I love
yeah,
your namesake at the very least.
It should be
that's a good thing to hear.
fun times. You say that you like him now. You may not like him when the show's over with. We'll just see how it goes. Goth, why don't you say hello to the Devil's Double?
Oh man, it's great. I've watched the first Beyond the Bell with you. It was really entertaining and also very educational. And when I saw the opportunity to be a co-host with you, with Chris, for a show with you, I was like, I've got to be there. I've got to see the Devil's Double in person, and I'm here. I'm excited. So welcome.
He's fanboyed out for you, Jesse.
Excellent. I'm happy that you're excited. I would accept nothing else besides excitement.
A lot has changed since we had you on last. So we're obviously going to get into this pro wrestling league stuff because there's a lot to dive into with that. And I again, timing is everything, and I don't think this one could have been timed better with how things have fallen on that side of the equation. But before we get there, brother, congratulations, man! You got married.
The special day was amazing. So for those that don't know, me and handsome Billy Mack are a couple. She is also a wrestler from Brisbane in Queensland, and we were together for a few years before we decided to, before I decided that I wanted to take the next step. And the proposal was amazing and over the top and everything you would expect from a wrestler. And I even said to her, because we had special things planned. Now I won't go into that, but I did tell her, you're allowed to tell your dad, but I get to tell your mum about the proposal. And she goes, okay, that's fine. So she messages her dad. Her dad lives in Scotland, and she's on the phone to him, and she's doing the whole like crying and yeah, we're engaged and stuff now. And then her mum, who lives in Brisbane, I got to tell her. So I send her a message at 8 o'clock at night, Valentine's Day. and she knows that we've gone away. I send her a message and I go, hey, you might want to give Billy a phone call. We've decided that we're not going to be dating anymore. And that was all the text message said. And literally 30 seconds, 1 minute later, the phone rings. And her mum's there and she's got her on speaker and I'm loving it because I really am a bad person deep down. And her mum goes, hey, how are you? And of course, Billy has been crying, so she's, I'm good, I'm okay. I just got a text from Jesse. He said that you're not dating anymore. We're not dating. We're engaged. Mum, where is he? Where is he? You're on speaker, you bastard. It was really good. 1 year later, we tied the knot. It was a beautiful ceremony. So we were up in the hinterland. So for those that don't know, in Queensland and northern Victoria, northern New South Wales, sorry, we have a mountain range called the Great Dividing Range. It's one of the biggest mountain ranges in the world. And when you go into it, you go from being in like the suburbs and like the city areas of like Brisbane and the Gold Coast into the mountains, so you get a little bit of the bush. But when you get up there, you actually go down into a bit of a valley, and it's all hilly, beautiful, green, everything that an English wedding in Australia should be. Beautiful weather. We got some amazing pictures. We got the PWA photographer from down in New South Wales to come and take the pictures for us, and it was tremendous. The centerpieces were wrestling rings that were all handmade. I got told for all the speeches that I didn't need a microphone because I'm already loud enough the way I am. It was an amazing ceremony. It was a small one, and I'll tell you this: all the pressure we put on ourselves for the wedding, right? I turned round and she looks amazing. You know, I've got a vest made from the same material as my coat that I walk out in, because my coat is a $5,000 robe. Is very amazing and laborious and well worth the money that I spent on it. I had material left over, so I made a vest for my wedding, because why would you not, right? And she comes up, and she's nowhere near as extroverted as I am. I'm pretty sure anybody next to me is nowhere near as extroverted as I am. You have to be extroverted to be this fabulous, right? So she's walking up the aisle. I turn around, and I'm ready to burst into tears. She looks so amazing, right? She looks so beautiful, and she's awkward as fuck, right? She walks up to me, and all she says is, "What's up, dude?" I start giggling. She's laughing. Right, we get up there. The whole ceremony is what it is. Like, we're even through to putting the rings on the fingers. I'm just working the crowd, like, oh, hey! It was wrestling themed, like you wouldn't believe. And all impromptu as well, which is what we want. So it was really, really good. Loved it. And, you know, we often joke that the honeymoon stage has never ended for us the whole time we've been together. So, like, hopefully that persists for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I'm the luckiest evil guy in the world.
I mean,
you know, you guys give the devil his dues, right?
Even the devil can find love, right? I think that I think it's fantastically funny, because I've never spoken to your wife. I've heard her in the background on our other call. I think on the other show. I've seen her, and I've heard her in the ring, right? Like obviously just catching up stuff. And
Oh,
the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that she walked up to you and said, "What's up, dude?" I totally could see that happening. And
Man,
he told me there ain't no better way to break the ice when you haven't seen your bride to be all day. So, hey, what's up, dude? It's just
it is what it is, you know. Like, I went out of my way to like make sure she had the most amazing day. Like, it's just what we do for each other. I won't do anything for myself. She'll do stuff for me. She doesn't do anything for herself. I do stuff for her. It's a match made in hell, I guess.
Depends
And,
on the day.
yeah, and she was brilliant. She looked amazing. She looked $1,000,000. So definitely no regrets there. She had the most amazing day. And even the highlights. So in Queensland, we're not allowed to have rabbits, right? We actually have a thing in Queensland called a rabbit-proof fence to prevent like the spread of rabbits because they were an introduced species and they just destroy everything. So we can't have rabbits in Queensland, right? You can have everything else, but you can't have rabbits, right? Anyway, she loves rabbits, so I managed to hire rabbits to be there on the wedding day before the ceremony and everything like that. So I asked her, what's the best day of the wedding? What's the best thing about the wedding? Wasn't the dance, wasn't the cake, wasn't the ceremony. Those 2 rabbits. She got to pat those for about 2 hours, and she was absolutely wrapped. I think we got more pictures of her and rabbits than we did of me and her.
It's the small things though, like that shit right there is what will be remembered.
Yeah.
Like when I got married, I think I've been married for oh fuck. Oh god, they're gonna see this and they're gonna fucking we've been together 8
Danny.
we've been together 8 years. I think we've been married 6. And when we got married in front of 4 people. But the same
4 people.
4 people.
COVID time? Or?
Nope. I just don't like that. You know what's crazy is I have a platform where we're seen by 500,000 people a month. But I'm not a big fan of being in a group of people. Like I'm not that guy anymore. It's so crazy.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
But when it comes to being surrounded by a shit ton of people, it's just not for me. Not anymore. But it was just like his mother was there, his brother was there, my mom was on FaceTime. It was just one of those things. But it's the same concept. I I can't tell you the last time we got to an argument for real. Like when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I think that it's great that you're able to tie the knot, and that you found your person. Everybody gets one, and when you find them, you find them.
I am. We've had a couple of, I won't say arguments, I'll say discussions.
No.
I don't get a say in discussions.
Joint. Well, yeah, that's part of the club. I just nod. Listen, so this is a funny. I forget who we were talking to on a Beyond the Bell, and I just say, yeah, when it may not even been Beyond the Bell, it may just been a regular show. I just say, yeah. Well, my husband knows when I'm totally no fucks given. When I just yes dear, yes dear.
Yeah,
That was yesterday, I believe.
That's it. Just say yes dear, and it's over with. Goth,
you have to pick your battles.
Yes, for sure. Goth, you got anything you wanna add to the wedding of the Devil's Double, and then we'll slide into what's been going on.
First of all, I want to congratulate you with your marriage.
Thank you.
And when we discussed this before we went live, the first thing that came in my mind is, how in the hell is the Devil's Double going to propose to somebody? And when you talked about it, how you did that with sending the text message to her mom, was like, yeah, I can see the devil doing something like that.
Well,
it's brilliant.
The answer should have just been mischievous. That's it. Mischievous.
Like, I can tell you the full proposal story because there was so much that went into it.
Sure, go ahead.
If you want, we can delve into that if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So I decided I wanted to marry her, and like, how could you not, right? So I remember the moment that I decided as well. And that's just my private thing. I'm not ever going to discuss that because that's my moment with her. I just decided that I want to be with this woman for the rest of my life, right? Because like, who's gonna say yes, right? So I started planning everything, And I was like, I've got to do this. And every year, for Valentine's Day and stuff, I go big and I do things. And I was talking to one of my good friends, and I was telling him what I had planned. And I already had the ring. And I'll tell you this, we went to Scotland, and like her dad and everything was there. And like she just did not give me 2 seconds alone with him to ask him if I could marry her, or to even ask her if I could marry her. She did not leave us alone. There was no time, no separation. There was nothing. So we were at the airport. And I had to ask for permission because I literally did not even get the chance. Even like, we were at a pub in Scotland, and we're sitting there talking, and she's like, I need to use the toilet. So we're out the front waiting. We've paid. We go out the front. We're staying there for a good minute, and you would know that you need more than a minute to ask the father of the one that you love if you can. You need more than a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds later, she comes back out. She told me she thought that was enough time. Nowhere near. So we're at the airport, and she's all in tears because she doesn't want to leave her dad. Right? So I'm on the phone to him, and I walk away, and I say to him, I'm like, hey, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, but like, I want to marry you. I want to ask you permission. I don't need your permission. I only need hers. But if it's okay with you, I want to ask her because it's going to mean a lot to her. And I was stumbling over my words. I'm like, look, I want to marry your daughter. Are you okay with that? He goes, oh, yes, I love it. Where are you going to do it? Are you going to do it in the Bahamas? Are you going to go to the Caribbean? I'm like, mate, I'm a pro wrestler from Australia. No. No. But give me time. So I organized the most amazing Valentine's Day for her. Right? I go to her workplace and I say, hey, I want to do this for her. I need her to be able to have like X amount of time off. This is what I need her to have off. And she works with a bunch of girls, and they all go, oh yeah, we're going to be in on this secret. We aren't going to spoil it. We aren't going to do shit. Three or four times they almost ruined it. 3 or 4 times. So I asked her boss, I'm like, I need her to have like Valentine's Day and like the 2 days after off. I'm like, I've organized to go up to a beach resort, like an hour and a half north of us in an area called Noosa. There's a hot tub in the room. You get a hot tub on the roof. It's 2-story. It's private. It's all for you. All right. So it's like one of our favorite holiday spots. So like, organize this. Valentine's Day, she's getting the bear, the chocolates, the card, the flowers. She's getting all of that. Not extroverted at all, so she hates it already. Every year I've got a picture of her. She's red as a balloon, all right? This year I joked with her. I'm like, nah, I'm going bigger than that. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, barbershop quartet. I need to show you how much I love you. So she was nervous. She was petrified like you wouldn't believe, right? So the day comes. She gets her flowers, her balloons, all of that stuff in the morning. She's like, it's about mid-morning. She's like, okay, I think that's all it's going to be. About 2-3 o'clock rolls around. The boss turns around to her and goes, hey, you have to stop work now. I want you to finish up. And gives her a handwritten note. Right, this handwritten note details, like, I've got some stuff planned. You got to come home now. Right? What I didn't factor in was the peak hour traffic, right? So it took her about an hour to drive 10 Ks back home. So I didn't account for that, so now I'm panicking. Because she gets home, and I'm like, we got to pack. Like, I'm packed, you've got to pack, get upstairs, pack, we're going away for a couple of days. She's like, okay, runs upstairs. All new outfits and everything laid out on the bed for her. I'd been shopping, I bought all new stuff, it's all laid out. So she's wrapped, packs up her bag, gets in the car. We gotta drive up. As soon as we get to the resort, she's like thrilled because she sees that. I'm like, right, you've got 10 minutes. We've got dinner booked. So I shit you not, in 10 minutes, she knows how to get, she's a wrestler. She knows how to get ready when the music's about to play, right? She gets ready in 10 minutes. We're out the door. I wasn't able to get the 5-star booking that I wanted to. Instead, we were right next door to it. They have the glass windows. So I'm constantly looking over like, well, fuck. I'm seeing all this food get brought. Well, what we had wasn't too bad. It was nice. We walk in. Well, I wouldn't say we're overly dressed, but like we're dressy for the place. Mind you, it's Valentine's Day. There was another poor girl there, right? She's wearing like a full-on split leg prom dress thing, whatever have you. You know, she's to the nines. She's dressed to the nines. Her boyfriend, cargo shorts, shirt, pair of thongs, pair of flip-flops. Yeah. So that's pretty Australia.
Right.
We're there. We're eating, and she's kind of like, man, there's a lot of shit going on right now. Maybe I'm gonna get proposed to with like dessert or something. So we order dessert. She eats dessert. I'm like, sweet, we're done. She's like, oh, a little bit let down. But like she doesn't worry about it because she didn't expect a proposal anyway, right? So we go out. I'm like, we should go for a walk, right? So I put my jacket on her, right? Anyway, we're going for a lovely little walk, and I'm on my phone, and mind you, at this point, I've got everybody in my phone messaging me, going, "Have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it?" And I'm like, "Can you all just please just
Fuck
right
off.
Yeah, exactly. Like my heart's like this all through dinner, all through this walk, all through friggin' everything, right? Anyway, so like I had all of this planned, and I told my mate, and I've told him all of this, and he's seen the ring because I've had the ring for months, and he knows all this. And I said to him, I'm like, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And I told him, and like this was it. And he goes, and I'm like, and what? He's like, and you're gonna propose, right? I'm like, oh, didn't think about doing that. This was just Valentine's Day. He's like, are you ever gonna do better than this? I'm like, no. He's like,
Facts.
I'm like, oh shit, I have to propose. He's like, yeah. I'm like, damn. So then, like, this is all I had planned. So then I had to organize everything from this point onwards, right? So we're going for a walk. And I'm like, shit, how am I going to propose to, like, this woman who I treasure? She's above everything. Like, love her to death, right? Like, I often, all of her friends have always said about me, like, they love seeing me with her because I'm like a character out of their books or something. Right? They read all these romance books. They're like, you're a character out of the books. I'm like, why is that? They're like, you're the knight in shining armor. I'm not the knight in shining armor. You know, the knight in shining armor, the Peter Pan, the Peter Parker, sorry, the Spider-Man. If they're given a choice between saving the world, saving the girl, they're going to save the world, right?
Mm.
Right. But if she asked me to, I would burn the entire world down for her, and we would be the last two on it. Like, that's how much I love her. Anyway, so I get my phone. I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I'm like, you know what? I'll do a collage. I get all the pictures from my phone of like her that I've taken over the years, and I compile it to Michael Bublé, right? Like I forget the song, but it's Bublé, right?
Right.
I put the collage together, and I'm like, sweet. So I'll give her that. Then I called up her dad, and I'm like, hey, I need like a minute-long video from you, like classic promo, right? I need like a minute-long
Yeah,
promo.
right.
Just talking to her, I'm like, this is what I'm planning on doing. I just want to incorporate that in the video. It's just going to be you and her. Like, I have no idea what you're going to say. I'm not going to listen to it. If you want to tell her to run, you can tell her to run. Like, it's just you and her. I think she's going to love it. So he sends it. Classic promo. It ends up being like 2.5 minutes long.
Can't keep your time
incorporate
cube,
that.
Dad. You can't keep your time cube.
Right.
1 minute, Dad.
Then fine.
I said 1 minute, Dad.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. I'm like, whatever, I've got time, right? And then I go to myself, well, what am I going to do for the actual proposal, right? What am I going to do? And one night we're sitting there and things, it might be demonic, but things just work out for me, right? So we're sitting there and we're going through our phones and I'm just shitty. And I'm like, she's shitty with me because like every night I've been on my phone because I've been compiling this little compilation thing and it's taken me like a good 3 or 4 weeks to like put this together perfectly, and all of my spare time has been doing this. And she's shitty with me because at night I've just been on my phone doing this while she's been sitting right next to me, and like I've been paying her no attention, of course, right? So she's been getting shitty. I turn around to her and I'm just like, I'm shitty. And I'm like, I have so many more pictures than you do of me. And she's like, I've got more pictures of you. I'm like, bullshit, you don't take pictures. And she shows me, and I'm like, can you send me all of those? And she's like, yeah, sweet. So she sends them all to me, right? She gets up, goes to get drinks and stuff for us. She comes back. I'm like, I've got all the pictures now. I've locked both our phones. And I'm like, you've got my full attention. And she's walked back and she's gone, oh, I thought we were going to go through all your photos of the pictures of me. And I'm like, no, you don't want that. So then I spend the next like 2 weeks compiling the actual proposal, which is all the pictures of me that she's got in her phone. I'm putting that together, and at the end, a lovely little "Will you marry me" thing, right? So anyway, I give her my phone, even though people have been texting it nonstop. And I'm just like, can you all just like not ruin this? Give her my phone. She watches the first video. She looks up at me. She goes, I don't like Michael Bublé. Yeah, pause it. And I'm like, look, the next thing, you got a message straight from your dad. I'm like, there's a lovely little spot over here. It's a private deck surrounded by mangroves. One street lamp shining on it while we're on this walk. I'm like, this way people won't walk past us and see what's happening, right? Because she's very introverted in these moments. And I go, you go over there, listen to that message from your dad. She goes, okay. So she walks over and she presses play. And she's watching this. And while she's watching this, I tell you, she still has my jacket.
Mm-hmm.
My inside pocket has the ring. My heart's going like this.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 minutes, I'm going to myself. I can still grab my phone at the end of this message and I can throw it into the sea. And everything will stay exactly the same as it is. It gets to the end of her dad's video. My heart goes from going like this, just calm. And I'm like, I want this. I've never wanted this more. She turns around after watching the video of all the pictures of me in her phone set to a lovely track by Mark Cohn. She turns around, she's teary, and I walk up to her. And I open up the jacket, and I pull out the ring, and I get down on one knee. And she says, and she thought that she said, oh my God, are you serious? It's not what she said. What I heard was, oh my God, are you serious? And my heart goes from this. Oh shit, I've just fucked our entire relationship. Well done. And I go, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. And I get down on my knee and I say my bit. And I'm like, will you marry me? And she goes, of course I will. And then obviously she rings her dad and I let her mum know. And then our group of friends, I messaged them the exact same thing. I'm like, hey, me and Becca aren't dating anymore. The group chat goes silent for like 10 minutes, and then I send a picture of the ring, and they all react the same way. They go, that's a horrible way to announce that you're engaged. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think that's a pretty good way. I'm having a great time right now. But I also wanted Billy to know how serious I was about being with her and marrying her. So when we got back to the hotel room, I'm like, I got one more present for you. And at this point, she's like swept off her feet, all right? Like, what girl has ever had a better proposal in their life, right? Yeah, Taylor Swift can write a song about this and have it be number one hit. We get back to the room and I got one more present for you. And I give it to her. And she opens it up. And it's a wedding planner. I'm like, I want you to know how serious I am. I don't want to wait for this. I want to do this right now. And she's like, sweet wedding planner, awesome. I love being organized. And she's the most organized person, unorganized person in the world, the most organized person in the world. It's like a match made. It's just perfect. A week later, we go to Wedding Expo. We find a venue. 2 weeks after that, we put down the deposit. We then wait a year. We get married. Everything's amazing. And she's amazing. And she did the whole wedding in a moon boot because it's a wrestling wedding. And she got injured 2 weeks out from the biggest show of her life. And yeah,
It's
it really is.
I could just see. I mean, I just see you lighting up when you're talking about it, dude. It's so great to hear. And the fact that, I mean, again, all this has happened over the last year or so. This has been about a year since we had you on. Maybe not quite a year. Maybe 6 months,
Yeah.
7 months. So it hasn't been that long. And you go from, it's almost like SummerSlam in the '80s, match made in heaven, to match made in hell with what's been going on in the pro wrestling league over the last year or so as well. I first of all wish you and Billy nothing but success as far as your marriage.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased that you're happy, she's happy, and outside of that, like nothing else fucking matters. Like everything else is all trivial at the end of the day. As long as y'all are happy, that's where it's at. I want to.
Man, like I just got back from Townsville last week with another wrestler who goes by the name Charlie D, and I've got a reputation of being a not the nicest person, I guess. I don't know why. I think I'm pretty good. And we got off the plane, and he just needed a lift down the road. So I rang up Billy because she was picking me up, and I spoke to her, and I hung up, and he's like, my God, you're a completely different person when you were on the phone to her. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, man, you changed. You were happy.
We're not gonna tell the secret. We're not gonna tell the secret that the devil's double can be happy. But it is fantastic to see, for sure. Again, wish you guys nothing but success in the future. We got to start getting into some pro wrestling league, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. There's been so much happening in pro league, and it's been nothing but aces for me.
Yeah, for you, absolutely. You have had this blood feud with Bobby Bishop. Now, at last watch against the Purge Cyber, I can't remember the last piece of the acronym. Cybernight, Cyber something. Was the last show that I watched, and that was the culmination of this very intense, very vicious, very personal, deep-rooted rivalry with Bobby Bishop. And now you did not come out on the winning end of that particular match. But it isn't, they always say it isn't, it isn't what you remember match-wise, it's what you remember show-wise, at least in my train of thought, my perspective. We get to the end of the show, I'm on the stream with Bobby watching it. And again, I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what's happening. Mitch Ryder and Robbie Eagles tear the fucking house down with a classic.
Was Zeke and Dino in the? No, he wasn't. Mitch Ryder and Robbie.
Yeah, this one was just Mitch and Robbie. They do the spot. Mitch pulls the win, and I saw when, Ryder, obviously, let me be specific because McConnell's involved in this as well. When I saw him sign that contract, because he was signing over 50% of the ownership of the company to Todd Eastman.
Yes, he was.
The lights go out. There's some commotion heard. And when the lights come back up, Jesse Daniels is standing in the ring with nobody stopping, no one assisting, picks up this contract that already has a signature fixed on it, and signs it himself. You leave Cybernight as 50% owner of Pro Wrestling League. I want to start with this show and this night, and then I want to move forward a little bit. This looked like a best laid plan. How long were you thinking about this entire situation, or were you? Was this a spur of the moment kind of deal?
So it's a riches to rags to riches story, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But if we look back at the history of wrestling, specifically in Queensland wrestling, for over a decade, I ran the biggest and best professional company in the state, AWA, the Australian Wrestling Alliance. You know, we did so much in 10 years. Even Colt Cabana and Adam Pearce had both been out. They had been on our shows. You know, being able to work with both of them, giving credence to ourselves, our championship belt being held by Bronson Reed, being held by Jag Hartley Jackson over in Japan right now. We had the lineage, we had everything, and in a split second, Bobby Bishop managed to turn everybody against me, destroy everything that I personally had built, and pretty much shut me out of everything that had been created from me. Prior to me doing this, you'd be lucky to get 10 people in a crowd at any promotion in the state, and then we grew and grew over a 10-year period, and I got shut out by Bobby, and that's where the blood feud comes into. You know, Bobby Bishop and me at one point were very, very good friends, and you know, to Brutus, knife wounds in my back. I'm pretty sure if I could look, I would still have the scars from the multiple stabs. Time passes on, and you know, when I came back, I don't think Bobby Bishop expected to see me, and of course, our blood feud was, you know, what a fair coin term to use. There were no pulled punches. There is no love lost between us. I am pretty sure he felt every strike and still feels that. I am pretty sure that between the both of us, we have managed to shave years off of each other's careers, and I'm more than happy to keep doing it. But as you mentioned, right now I am the co-owner of PWL Pro Wrestling League. I was having my match with Bobby, an amazing I Quit match. We took each other to town, and we had some very creative offense for each other. You know, in my entirety of time, my 15 years of wrestling, I only ever had one person kick out of my finish, which is Mitch McCarthy years ago. And Bobby Bishop, if you recall the match, managed to kick out of my finisher. And likewise, I took a massive pile driver from him and his Death Valley driver through a table, and I kicked out from that, and neither of us were willing to say I quit, and neither of us were willing to leave that. Like, I think we both would have preferred to we would have preferred in that moment to stop breathing than to utter the words I quit, and there is true hate between us, and I think that will always be there. But it's not about winning the battle, it is about winning the war. And pretty sure as gentlemen, we would, you know, with yourselves, you would be willing to sacrifice a battle if it meant you would win the war, correct?
I have been in that
Excellent.
position.
Excellent. So, a light bulb went off in my head mid-match. Not whether or not I could beat Bobby, whether or not I could make his existence so hard that he can walk away and quit on himself. So I had no problem saying, I quit. And if you watch, you can see I was tapping my noggin. I already had the plan at the end of the night. Main event, Robbie Eagles, Mitch Ryder, 50% of the company. neither of them are going to be able to move too well afterwards. I seized my opportunity. I was standing next to the light switch. I turned it off. I ran out. I had a chair with me. I took out Mitch. I took out Todd Eastman, which was quite pleasurable. And of course, I took out Mitch Ryder. What else would I do besides sign the contract? Everybody was there to see a contract get signed. These three Muppets are in the ring going, no, let's just shake hands and be friends. No, I am now the co-owner, legitimized, legalized co-owner. I'm back at the top of Queensland wrestling, where I belong, where I never should have been taken away from. This time.
I happen to.
Oh no, you go, please.
I happen to see again when I follow on social media. I follow and I kind of keep up with what everybody's doing, and I see this random picture go out on your social media, dressed up in a nice little suit, and I just kept scratching my head, and I was like, well, this just does not look like the Devils show. And I told Bobby when we finished the show that it now all makes fucking sense. All of it makes sense. And that you have now put yourself, you just said it, you just put yourself back on top of Queensland's wrestling. And as this is happening, like, there were some spots that, came out after the fact. Bobby was not happy about it backstage. He tried to intervene, and there was some shenanigans afoot with Trent O'Day, and I believe there was even something with you talking about that you're just here to make everybody's life a living hell. I know that there's a show that's happened after the fact. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and watch it, but for context purposes, I kind of need to know, what was the general reaction of the locker room as this unfolds at Cybernight, and now you've had your first appearance as a co-owner? You just set off a goddamn powder keg, and I don't know how this dust settles with the roster that's in place there. So what was going on when they see that you're legitimized owner of this company, 50-50?
There is some shock and some awe. Times since I ran AWA have definitely changed, and there is a different roster now. There are new people, new professional wrestlers who are younger and don't know as much about the history of Queensland wrestling as they should. And there are still a few labored old veterans of the scene. So when the old veterans of the scene heard that I was now a 50% owner, I believe there were quite a few gasps, some shock, some awe, some terrified screams in the pillows. As for the new, young, up-and-coming wrestlers, I don't think they were 100% sure what to expect, but I believe after the show at Doomsday, I'm pretty sure they now know not to expect anything good.
Well, it even proceeds a little bit before that. Like, I want to go back to the Australian Super Show. There was that big 10-man tag. Some people may say that you can give two fucks about Queensland's wrestling with how you got involved in that, and cost Queensland essentially the match.
Let me tell you about Queensland wrestling, then, shall I?
Sure.
Because for a period of 10 years, there was only one person involved in Queensland wrestling, and that was myself. And everything that I did was to build everybody around me and to give them the opportunities that I didn't have. If you remember, my start in wrestling, my first day in wrestling was in a backyard covered in dog shit, right? Now, all these new people are coming in, and as I said, they don't know the history of Queensland wrestling. They don't know what it was like for people like me to have to go through what we went through, the bullying of the rookie generation, and trying to get your spot on cards, wrestling once every couple of months if you were lucky. If you were lucky, getting to train before the show every couple of months. It was a joke. It was ridiculous, the history of Queensland wrestling. But for 10 years, I persisted. I gave people opportunities. I built everything around me. Other companies sprung up, which made it difficult to work with people. And people were quite happy wrestling for bugger all and not having a grand scheme. I had a grand scheme. I once walked out into a building filled with 1,000 people to everybody chanting Queensland wrestling. Me and 7 other guys heard 1,000 people chant that. I tried to build Queensland wrestling. Bobby moved in and took everything over, took control, was very political to get into his positions, to get his championship matches. So, things that guys like Sam Kane and Trent O'Day have noticed and have called him out on.
Oh, every time you say Trent O'Day, it just makes me think, fuck Trent O'Day. It's just
No, Trent O'Day is a lovely man, a brilliant individual. He is a visionary. And he is incredibly good at what we do in the ring. What we do in the ring is professional fighting. He turns around and calls himself uniquely violent. He is violently unique. And he carries himself as such. And personally, as a person who enjoys what I do as a profession, I enjoy beating people up as a profession, right? He's excels. He's brilliant. Tell me one thing that he does in the ring that is a negative thing that gives you a reason not to like him.
Well, my issues aren't necessarily in ring. The guy fucking threatened to sue me, so I, say fuck Trent O'Day. So that's the thing. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
Threatened legal action over a
Well,
podcaster in the United States.
mm,
Yeah,
did it involve Bobby Bishop?
it did. It did.
Oh, maybe the problem isn't Trent O'Day. Maybe the problem is Bobby Bishop.
Well,
The Trent O'Day's eyes have been opened to that. Sam Cannon's eyes have been opened to that, and more people are starting to open their eyes to the joke, the hypocrisy that is undeniable Bobby Bishop. Come on, jump on board the train, Chris. Jump on board the train.
well, first of
Goth,
all, I'm not on
Goth, you're
anybody's
with
train.
me, right? You're on my side, Goth.
Well, I'm partially on the side of Chris because he's my boss. But
Oh, see, now you're just
I could be a very good
now
friend.
you're just ass kissing, Goth. Now that
well,
doesn't
I'm
work.
trying to
You're
give.
entitled to a view and an opinion, just like anyone else is.
See, right there. Right there, you just said ass kissing doesn't work. He's entitled to his own opinion. And this is the same thing with Bobby Bishop. So many people just pucker up for his ass in the hopes of getting something. No,
Okay.
no.
Well, I was
You
just
got caught like
caught off
you
a
just
little
did.
bit of. I was just caught off a little bit of guard with the whole question because I was just listening to the whole situation. Um, yeah, it's difficult to see give my opinion because there's always two sides of a story, and to be honest, I'm just seeing this from afar, and I've heard the stories from you. I've heard the stories about what Chris just said, and it's just difficult to say because I feel like everybody is at a certain point correct in their own view. So it's hard for me to just say this person is correct and this person is wrong because everybody their own way is a little bit right.
Right, I'm just more correct than Bobby, right?
He's not gonna stop, Goth. I'm just telling you, he's not gonna stop. I am curious. Let me
Well,
come around to
I'm
you, Goth.
very
can move
that if
on.
I disagree with the devil, that he's going to take my soul. So
Well, let me ask you this, Goth.
I wouldn't take it. It's not appealing to me.
Let me ask you this, Goth, in your opinion on everything that you've heard so far and what you've seen so far going through this Purge show. Like what was your genuine reaction when you see that Jesse's coming out of this thing as the 50-50 owner of Pro Wrestling League?
well, the first thing that popped in my head, and I know it's not quite the same thing because of the whole history that you got with Bobby Bishop, and it's so much more personal. But the one thing that came in my mind was the Raw after, I believe it was Survivor Series, that Ric Flair came out as being the co-owner of 50-50 co-owner of WWE along with Vince McMahon. I know, and then again, at that point, it wasn't really that blood feud between him and Vince like it is between you and Bobby. So when I saw that moment happening, I was like, "Oh shit, it's going to happen." I mean, if it wasn't already excited what's going on, I was like, "Oh, the next show is going to be even better." And I've seen some parts, what I said before we went live. I've seen some stuff from the show. I'm not going to say anything because Chris doesn't want me to. But I was like, oh yeah, this is just perfect. You being co-owner of the show, taking charge and making people's life a living hell. I really love it. I really love it. So I'm looking forward
Well,
to see what's
you know,
going on more.
I'm not here to make everybody's life a living hell. Just the people that wronged me and the people that sided with Bobby Bishop and helped destroy my life. And, you know, like people, and this is a very, people can take this with them to the grave, this little bit of advice. But if you plan on taking somebody out, make sure you finish the job, because if they do come back, they are coming back with a vengeance, with retribution, with revenge. And those
I
are
agree.
very, very powerful motivators. And right now, I have never felt more content and more motivated. And everything's coming up, Jesse Daniels.
Let me come over to
What
our
I'd like to
chat.
ask is,
Go ahead, Goth. Go ahead, Goth. Go ahead.
no, I just want to say the whole situation being a co-owner of the company. Do you see yourself more like somebody who's backstage trying to run the place, or do you still want to see yourself as uh, going back into the ring at one point?
Excellent question. And I'm going to answer this because I've been waiting for somebody to ask me, right? So, as you are aware, you just mentioned Vince and Rick, right? And we have seen this play out in wrestling promotions more than once where there's more than one owner, and we all know what happens. There's always a lovely, are you a wrestler or are you an owner? Ba, 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 ba. Why would I want to step into the ring with anybody when I am their boss? That's just silly. That's silly business. What's going to happen? The first thing that's going to happen is multiple people are going to come out and they're all going to try and beat me up at the same time. And I don't have a problem with that, but I also don't need to put myself in that situation. Am I going to be wrestling Bobby Bishop now? No, I can put Bobby Bishop in any match, in any stipulation that I want, and I can sit backstage, I can watch the monitor, I can have somebody bring me popcorn, have somebody bring me a drink, and I can enjoy myself. And yeah, if he survives that, cool. Next time I up the ante, and so forth and so forth. Same with Mitch Ryder. He's decided to become best friends with Bobby Bishop now. Todd Eastman, best friends. I have a little treat in store for all three of them come our next show in about 5 or 6 weeks' time, but you'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. As for me, wrestling, I've approached the other co-owner of Pro Wrestling League, and I'm quite happy to discuss putting my share of the company on the line if he's willing to do the same.
Oh,
Because
Ooh.
as far as owning 50%, that's great. I'm not very good at sharing.
let me ask you this, because there's a lot with this 50%, and there's a lot that I do want to talk about and try and get into real quick. Before I do, I want to go over to the chat. Crown Prince Sam has a really good question here. Wanted to know if you're worried
Hello, Crown Prince.
if there would be a mutiny from those who may, and then Crown Prince's words, that can't stomach you being the co-owner of the company. So has that happened yet? Bear in mind, there's only been one show and that's transpired since then. But are you concerned about talent saying, "Fuck it, I'm out"?
I will say I've never said no to a fight. And that is both a blessing and a curse. And as for immunity goes, I am the devil's double. Now, if we look biblically, Satan did try and turn on God, and that didn't work out. That mutiny, he got sent straight to hell, right? Never been a mutiny in hell, right? If I turn Pro Wrestling League into my kingdom, what I enjoy, I don't see myself having a mutiny. I see people jumping on board and doing whatever they can to please me. Otherwise, they might end up in a multi-man ladder match, a 5-on-1 cage match. There might be a bull rope match with spikes on the leather. Who knows? Who knows?
It's the
But it
it's
is
the
my playground.
the figment of the imagination, right? It can go as deep and as dark as you want to with it. And the other piece of this is you just mentioned, and I'm not going to gloss over the fact, McConnell, Daniels for complete control. What has the process been like? Because you'll hear you saying that you can just put somebody like Bobby or like Mitch Ryder or whoever in any kind of situation. But with this being a 50-50 kind of booking situation between you and McConnell, what happens if one of you disagree with what the other one wants to do? Like, how does that work? Because
Oh,
again, if it's
oh, just quickly, because you've glazed over something yourself. So, the 50% of the company that was put on the line was Mitch's 50%.
mm-hmm.
There were already two co-owners. Mitch, you could be calling him McConnell, Mitch McCarthy. He is no longer an owner of Pro Wrestling League. So I have been working with an currently anonymous co-owner who doesn't want to come into the spotlight.
Are there two of those? Because now, if there's two, and you're own 50%, then this isn't even a conversation or up for debate. You have
No.
managing
No.
control.
Mitch McCarthy is no longer in charge of any. He is the general manager
Right.
of Pro Wrestling League. I own his 50%, and
Correct.
there is one other anonymous person
All
who
right.
is the other
So it
50%
is a
holder.
50-50. Got it. That you
Okay.
guys have
It's a
no clue.
50-50.
So they're not there. They're not present. If they're not in the building,
They're present. They're present at every show. And if you watch the end of Cybernight, after I sign on the dotted line, as I walk back up the ramp, you can see me talk to the co-owner. At this point, he has not really stepped into the spotlight, so to speak, but I'm definitely trying to coax him out.
oh Jesus Christ. So that's where your
Getting more and more
50-50 come in.
interesting.
Yeah, this is the rabbit hole's deep here, and it runs deep. And now you alluded to Mitch Ryder and Bobby Bishop, Todd Eastman. I do think that it was kind of interesting that Mitch Ryder and Todd have changed their tune, so to speak, uh, over the course of the last. I guess it's been a couple months in the making. What? And I
It
don't want to ask
has.
you.
It has.
Go ahead.
I'm upset you haven't seen the most recent show.
We can talk
Because
about
your
it.
eyes will be peeled right back. No, you've seen The Purge. You haven't seen Doomsday. You have not yet seen Doomsday, correct? Goth has.
Yeah,
Goth
I've seen
has.
several things. Yeah,
And
it was
you've
quite
seen
interesting.
you've seen the match I was quite invested in, correct?
Yeah, that was a certain tag match, right?
Yes,
Yes,
and
yes. I've seen that one. Yeah.
definitely from my standpoint, aggravation, frustration, uh, elation were the emotions I felt throughout that match. Chris, you will have to wait and see. And everybody in the chat who has not yet seen it, you can go over to Pro Wrestling League's YouTube site and you can watch it right now. PWL Doomsday. Do it. Watch it. Get the views up. I now get half the monetary stuff from the ads and stuff. So please give it all the views in the world so that I benefit even greater than I currently do. Yes.
I love you for that. Let's with Ryder and Bobby specifically. And I don't expect you to give me any plans or anything of that nature or anything that may tip them off because I'm sure that some of the show's going to be seen by them, or clips are going to be seen by them. They're both followers of the channel.
No. I'm more than happy. I will look straight down the camera and I will say to Ryder and Todd Eastman, as long as you persist in siding with Bobby Bishop, then you are effectively signing your own torture, your own death warrant. As long as you decide to be by his side, you will receive the exact same retribution, revenge, and punishment that is purely for him alone. And at any point, I am more than willing to accept an apology from you both individually to not have to go through the same thing as Bobby Bishop. In regards to undeniable Bobby Bishop, you do not have to fight for Queensland, for the people of Pro Wrestling League. You can hand in your resignation and quit whenever you want. My door for you is always open. My ear is always willing to listen to you, Bobby Bishop.
Goth, let me come around to you, man. What's on your mind?
Oh man, when I just hear him talk about Bobby Bishop and the other two individuals, I just got chills down my spine just remembering how Jake the Snake always did his promos. And I just got that same vibe. And, I guess you could say that you would go very far to get Bobby Bishop to snap and resign to his contract to you. How far would you actually go? I mean, everybody has some way of a limit. Say, okay, this is
Well, hold up,
so
Goth.
far as this.
You got to understand that I don't
You
think
know,
that
I'm just
I don't think there is a how far. I think that Jesse will go as far as Jesse has to go because this
I,
is
I understand that. I
like
understand that, but
I
I just
almost think that he would be willing to put Bobby in any kind of position that would wreck Bishop in any way, shape, or form.
I
I
just feel
can
like
really
yeah.
say is, if I'm enjoying myself as the co-owner and I have to put the fans first, if I'm enjoying myself, then I can only speculate that the fans are also enjoying themselves. And if that is getting people buying tickets and it's putting people through the doors and asses in seats and they're buying my merch and it's making money for Pro Wrestling League, and it must be what people want to see. So as long as I'm having fun, Bobby will do what he's told to do.
I'm wondering, you were saying early on that you would love to have him ask for his resignation, but seeing how much you enjoy it, how are you talking also about selling tickets? Um, would it not be not as good for the promotion if you finally do get Bobby Bishop to resign? Because wouldn't you agree that maybe that would sell less tickets if he's not around
You
anymore?
know, you're talking about ins and outs, right? We have an entire roster of people that people are going to come and watch and
Oh yeah,
enjoy wrestling,
I know.
right?
But
Bobby
your
Bishop,
story with him
despite
and
what he
Bobby
thinks,
is just amazing.
despite what he thinks, Bobby Bishop is a very, very small part of that, as opposed to me being a very large part of that. I am the co-owner of Pro Wrestling League. Now, I would like, all I said is I am Will. Bobby doesn't have to be put in these positions. He's a man. He's a free man. He can do whatever he wants to do. He can walk in. He can discuss things with me. He can offer up his resignation. He can do whatever he wants, right? That doesn't mean I have to accept his resignation, does it?
True.
Yeah, you just got
Come
it.
on. Oh, there are so many ins and outs that you don't think most people have a plan A, they got a plan B, they got a plan Z. Yeah, I got
Take it.
plans all the way up to Z, and each of those, I got plan A1, A2, A3. I am so organized. I don't know if you've seen the anime My Hero Academia. Excellent little thing, and the big bad guy in that is one for all for all for one. Brilliant mind when it comes to having backup plans for backup plans for backup plans. That way, it doesn't matter what happens, you always come out on top. And as we see, Jesse Daniels, I always end up on top. I have cemented myself, and I am going absolutely nowhere.
What is next for Pro Wrestling League? I mean, again, you've alluded to a possibility of, the notion of a 50-50, winner take all kind of match. Well, let's say that doesn't happen anytime soon. And from your perspective, what is next for those that reside within Pro Wrestling League?
I would love nothing more than to be the sole owner of PWL. That is definitely a goal that I've got that's up here, but for the foreseeable future, I am just enjoying being back in the position that I never should have been removed from. I am the be all, the end all, the one who controls everything for Pro Wrestling League. If you know Queensland history, you know how good and how profitable that's going to be for everybody involved. I expect that people will be jumping through hoops to join the promotion and to hopefully get signed and be able to wrestle on the shows that we have. My creative genius has never felt more free and more willing to do what I want. On top of that, I believe in the foreseeable future, there are many old faces of the scene who were removed at around the same time I was removed. And I think it would be good for them to have a little bit of time in the sun so that they can bask in their glory one more time. So, you never know what's around the corner. But damn, it's going to be entertaining.
This is gonna be really, really bad for a lot of people, I feel. I do have a question.
Disagree. I think that for a lot of people, it's going to be absolutely tremendous. It's going to open doors. It's going to give people opportunities. They're going to get chances to showcase what they can do when they are not held down and pinned down under political biases that see the same people getting opportunities again and again and again, despite nothing happening for them. Doors are opening.
Let me ask you this. This is a question, did not come from me. These aren't my words. I'm gonna shoot the messenger. As we start to wind things down. And I almost don't want to ask this because I'm afraid you're gonna kill me. And I don't want
Oh, please.
don't want it to come from me.
Ask anything. Everything's
Fred,
an open book. I am the co-owner of PWL. There is nothing you could say or do that could possibly upset me.
okay. Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. Friend of the channel, friend of mine, Bobby
Protect you.
Bishop, had a question, and I was live with him last week. As a piece of shit, and I quote, as a piece of shit, why is Trent O'Day such a piece of shit? End quote. I told you.
You know, it's 2025, and it's a shame that in this day and age when so many things have been overcome, that ignorance is still something that people possess. Bobby Bishop has showcased right then in that question the kind of man he is and he wishes to be. You know, I would never walk around. I don't think I've ever turned around and said, Bobby Bishop, he's a piece of shit. I don't think I've done that. I don't believe I've referred to him like that, despite him clearly being one. To refer to a man, a growing legend, such as Trent O'Day, as a piece of shit is a despicable and horrible thing to do. And it's not something, mind you, that Pro Wrestling League tolerates. It strikes me as a form of bullying and definitely Bobby Bishop spreading misinformation. Allow me to set the record clean. Trent O'Day and Sam Cannon from QWA up in Townsville have proven themselves to be loyal members of the roster. I have personally seen them wish people well in their matches. You can even see an interaction on Instagram with Trent O'Day and Bobby Bishop, where he had nothing but nice words to say before Bobby completely snapped. Trent O'Day and Sam Cannon are some of the nicest people I have ever met in this industry, and I feel more treasured knowing that I can call on them if need be. As for Bobby Bishop, unfortunately, I'm going to have a look at disciplinary measures for the things that he has said about Trent O'Day and definitely try and see if there is some conflict resolution that can be done in the foreseeable future. I would hate to have Bobby Bishop have this level of disrespect for not just Trent O'Day, but other members of the growing and evolving Pro Wrestling League roster.
I should have erred on the side of caution with that one. Goth, do you have any other questions for our guest today? You got anything else on your mind, Goth?
Just want to say that I think it's best for me that I'm not going to step on the bad toes of the Devil's Double at this point. But No, I just want to say I think it's going to be very interesting to see the coming shows, how everything is going to evolve. Like I said, I've seen some stuff from Doomsday, what I thought was interesting because it was a little bit for the future, but also look back. But I'm not going to spoil too much. But I just want to say I'm going to have a very close look at what's going on with the Pro Wrestling League in the coming months because it's going to be interesting.
I appreciate that.
Mr. Jesse Daniels, the floor, sir, is all of yours. What do you have going on? Where can, unless you've been living under a fucking rock and you're not looking at the screen, like his social media and all that stuff's right there on the screen for you. Anything you want to say to the people? Anything you want to say to our fans here on the channel, those in chat, those watching on YouTube? PW, Pro
Yes,
Wrestling League.
definitely. First of all, buy my merch. It can be shipped across the world.
Holy shit.
I can even see on Chris and Goth, you are not wearing my shirts. And I'm okay with that now. But in the future, please do yourselves a favor.
Definitely. I will.
Purchase a shirt. If you go to my link tree, it will take you straight to the Kick Out store. And I believe that they can ship internationally. Otherwise, message them and tell them to do it because you should not be deprived your Jesse Daniels merch. Also, check me out on Instagram where I post most of my stuff. I am on TikTok when I remember that TikTok does exist. I am on YouTube. I've been doing my own podcast of the Queensland wrestling scene, and they're probably really, really terrible, but I'm going to keep doing them anyway because there are a lot of people involved in the scene who deserve to be looked and be interviewed, and I'm taking it upon myself to give them the platform to do it before they were famous and before they've been recognized nationally and internationally. And I guess I'm still on Facebook. But like it's pretty much just a recap of everything that's Instagram. And yeah, just to recap, follow me, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do this, do that, do everything you're meant to do, and buy my merch. Oh, check out Pro Wrestling League on YouTube. I almost forgot. That show isn't just about myself. There are supporting characters that can be seen throughout. So make sure you give that a watch. As I said before, boost the views. It helps me. It helps Pro League out a lot. Other than that, buy my merch. Yes, send me messages on Instagram. I will read them occasionally, and if you ask for an 8x10, I might just ship it. I've got stickers as well. I can send those, probably. I don't know. That's how international shipping works, right? You pay for something and you get it. So, linktree.ee/Jesse Daniels PW has all the details that you need.
It is right there on the screen. I've had that up the entire show. Mr. Daniels, it has been fantastic to be able to circle back around with you and be able to just chat a little bit. And
the pleasure has been all yours.
it sure has, because we don't do this without you guys. We don't get to have these shows. We don't get to do any of that. And if you are still watching, the easiest way that you can support is by sharing, and subscribing. And in Jesse's case, he just told you, it's been on the screen. Devil Daniels on Instagram. Linktree/Jesse Daniels PW will get you to all things the Devil's Double. And stay tuned to Pro Wrestling League down in Queensland. Excuse me. I was trying to get through it without the cough. Just didn't happen. Down in Queensland.
Walk off. I didn't hear a cough. Walk off.
That'll be linked down below. Please go over there, smash the
Easy.
subscribe button. Those guys are killing it, and they're having some really good programs and really good shows. There's a lot of tremendous talent that's attached. I do give Trent O'Day a lot of shit. I think the guy's really fucking good. Hopefully he doesn't sue me. and keeps that. And maybe you can have a word with him and just say, "Hey, man, the guy's actually not a bad dude. Just don't sue him."
I will tell him. I'll be like, maybe don't sue somebody overseas. Like the litigation process is long, it's arduous. Like it's not worth it. Just like message him every day instead and ask for an apology and see where that gets you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Our door's always open.
Sometimes you have to take the high road, right?
Yeah, I do. I take it more often than not. Nowadays, I remember in my days when I didn't give a fuck. I just was I was a heel.
I remember you used to steal people's tassels while I was ripping people's shirts off. It was good times.
I
It's good
did. I
times.
was the tassel guy. That's for damn sure. Our door's always open for you. We'll be more than happy to circle back around at any point in time and get you out here. You're always fun. Uh, Again, congratulations on the wedding, getting married. Tell the missus that we said congratulations and ask her when
Oh,
she's
definitely.
coming on, because it's about fucking time. We need to make that happen. As again, this
I'm pretty sure she's still in bed. I will get
you'll
on her.
you'll see her
I'm just
Friday.
going. I'll wait there. I'm gonna yell at her.
No, don't yell at her. Don't wake her up. You're gonna.
No,
I don't.
she's still asleep. She's
Yeah,
still
no.
asleep. The
Honey,
door's still
listen, we
closed.
do not want to start your day with problems from waking up to misses.
We don't want discussion.
You already gave me a question from Bobby Bishop. My day has already been filled with problems, Chris.
Okay, you're all right. You're right. I should have not done that. For Jesse Daniels, the Devil's Double, guys. For the sexiest man in the Netherlands, give it to him again. He's just a sexy goth.
He is a sexy goth. He is a sexy
Thank
goth.
you. Thank you.
I am Chris Page, and we will see you next time.